I'm Kevin Shaw, and you're watching the Watercraft Journal. We're here with Dave Bambus of RIVA Racing, and Dave's going to walk us through something really unique here. Obviously, this is a limited edition, very rare, 350 horsepower GP1800R SVHO. This already belongs to someone. It's on its way out. So I'm not allowed to ride it. And that's probably a smart idea because don't let me touch it. It's really too pretty for me. But what's really cool, and what Dave's been explaining to me, is that everything you see here you guys can put on your GP1800R SVHO at home. So Dave's going to walk us through everything that RIVA's done to this really unique machine and everything that's available to the public through rivaracing.com.
Exactly. Kevin, for 2021, Yamaha has completely redesigned the GP1800R.
Oh yeah.
It's a new platform, new upper deck, new hood cowls, new seat, lots of new stuff. The original hull, the great hull that we've grown to love, is still there underneath, the same hull, right. But below the bond rail. But everything top side is new.
Right.
So the engineers at RIVA have designed a full line of parts and performance upgrades for this new platform, and I'm going to walk you through it today.
Very cool. So one of the things that was really cool for the 2021 redesign was that Yamaha finally gave the GP adjustable steering.
That's correct.
I'm seeing you still kept the adjustable steering.
That's right. We've installed a RIVA Racing steering system on this GP, but you retain the adjustable steering, so it'll still go up and down, but you also have achieved all the benefits of having a billet aluminum racing steering system. So our steering system is stronger than the original, it is lighter than the original, and has a much more precision feel. All that slop is gone, so it's a really nice tight fit. Also, our steering system accepts our aftermarket handlebars.
Okay.
So we have these motocross style bars. They look awesome. They have the pad here to protect your chin, and they accept all your factory controls.
Right, it keeps all the factory controls, so you're not cutting any of that up, but you're actually getting a lot of that benefit of a better steering feel.
Exactly, and for this application, we offer two different width bars. We offer the 32-inch bars and the popular 30-inch bars.
Okay,
this
so
happens,
you can go even wider.
Correct, this happens to be the 30-inch bars.
Okay.
In addition to the steering system and the bars, we've put on the 130 millimeter ODI grips, which are our choice of grips. They lock on very positively to the handlebars, and our billet aluminum grip ends, which hold the grips in place, and they look awesome also. They're engraved.
Very cool. Now, I was going to say something, and I know what the answer is, but because this is a limited edition unit, we're seeing a lot of really cool kind of Yamaha racing blue. But for everyone else who comes to rivaracing.com, it's going to come. How does it come to them? Can they get it anodized, or is it just in black?
Right. Well, our billet parts are black.
Okay.
The parts that we offer to our general customers are black. So this steering system is available in black. We only made 25, 30 sets for these limited edition craft that were anodized blue.
Right.
So when you order this online or from one of our dealers, it's going to be black. Now that. One point I wanted to make is the billet grip ends are available in a variety of colors. So if you want to put a little color flare on the billet grip ends, those are available in red, blue, black, and so on and so forth. But the steering system itself, strictly black.
Okay, very cool. Now from the steering system, I kind of want to carry over into what I got my hands on here, and that is a really cool redesigned seat. Now one of the nice things with the redesign was that Yamaha, in adding that top deck, also was able to narrow the seat a little bit, give you a little bit more of a narrow saddle. Right,
and that allows you the rider to grip the ski better, gives you more leverage. So this is our RIVA Racing seat cover. It has a good medium slip fabric on it so that you grip in the tight turns. It's going to hold you onto that ski, gives you more adhesion to the ski than the in comparison, pretty slippery OEM fabrics.
Sure, but it's not like sandpaper. It's not going to chew up your skin or anything like that.
Correct. You don't need to wear a wetsuit. No. You don't have to concern yourself about abrasion on your skin.
Okay.
It's a good medium slip, really happy medium. In addition to the function, which is the gripping and the way this thing feels when you're riding it, it looks really nice. As you can see, we have custom stitching. In this case, it's a blacked out seat with the highlight color is blue.
Cool.
to match our anodized components.
Right.
But we do offer this seat with a variety of stitching colors, so you can get the green stitch.
Cool, okay.
Because for 2021, Yamaha makes a black GP with green highlights.
So you could get this seat with the matching green.
Correct.
Okay.
We offer a seat with red highlights, so there's a variety of different stitch colors that you can order with this same seating configuration.
Very cool. And it retains all the usual function and everything.
Exactly.
But it gives you a far better feel.
Exactly.
And
it's UV resistant, it looks awesome, it functions awesome, and you can have any marine upholstery shop can install this cover, use stainless steel staples of course, and it goes on pretty quickly, and it's just a great upgrade.
That's awesome.
Okay, we've removed the service deck so you can see the exposed engine compartment. With this new 2021 GP, what's nice is when you remove that service deck, you have full access to the bilge area in the back, the engine compartment, really easy to work on it. I'm going to walk you through all of the RIVA performance modifications, starting with up in the front. You can't see it that closely, but the RIVA power filter, which is our cold air intake system, is mounted right to the supercharger. We have a velocity stack that hooks onto the snout of your supercharger, and the power filter snakes up over the fuel tank into the front of the ski where your cold air intakes are coming in from the outside of the ski, your hull vent system, and it takes that cold air and directs it directly into your supercharger for a denser air charge, more power. From there, inside the supercharger, we actually have our upgraded supercharger shaft upgrade kit, which is a heavy-duty shaft kit built for us by HKS, which is the actual manufacturer of the Yamaha supercharger. We also have our RIVA power cooler, which is our big oversized intercooler. It's dramatically more efficient than the stock intercooler, and it includes this big tile blow-off valve, 50 millimeter blow-off valve, which vents extra boost pressure off into the engine compartment in an off-throttle condition. Sounds really cool also. So that's the power cooler. This is our crankcase vent system or engine vent system. Typically this hose is vented back into your stock air intake, but with this system we now put on this filter, and it lets that crankcase breathe without putting the hot air back into the air intake system for a little bit more power. The cylinder head has been, the valve cover has been painted blue. That's for our limited edition ski. It's a stock valve cover. This is our billet aluminum fuel rail, our RIVA fuel rail, which typically is available in black, blue for this special limited edition. The billet fuel rail does flow better than the stock fuel rail, and it allows the use of bigger injectors in some applications. It's a nice upgrade from both a cosmetic and a functional standpoint. The ECU, or engine control unit, has been reflashed using our Map Tuner X system. So the ECU, which is housed back in this electrical box, we take it out, we plug it into our Map Tuner X system, which is a simple handheld programmer, and just by pushing the screen, you can choose whatever tune you want. Now this engine package in this limited edition is basically our Stage 2 kit. It puts this ski at about 85, 86 miles an hour top speed with incredible acceleration. So when we plugged in the Map Tuner, we simply chose the Stage 2, flashed the ECU with Stage 2, and everything is now calibrated perfectly for the parts installed. That includes RPM limit, fuel, timing, and all the other functionality that ECU needs to know to run these parts properly. Moving to the back of the engine compartment, we have our rear exhaust kit. This tubing comes off of the factory water box and it goes straight out the back of the ski. We're replacing big plastic sound suppression system, which is the factory sound suppression system, which is very restrictive, and it's really not that reliable because in any kind of high performance or hot running condition, those plastic plenums can melt. And we've replaced it with some very reliable mandrel bent aluminum tubing. There's no welds in that tubing, and it goes straight out the back. We'll take a look at the exhaust outlet in just a moment. So everything under the hood here, as I said, is basically our Stage 2 package. It runs very reliably. It'll run on premium pump fuel and puts you right in the mid 80 mile an hour range as far as speed. With this level of modification, the engine is set up to run at about 8,800 RPM at peak top speed. So what we've done is we've upgraded the valve retainers, which are housed underneath this valve cover, with our RIVA titanium valve retainers. The stock valve retainers are made out of pretty heavy steel, and we've upgraded to this new design which keeps your prevents valve float and keeps your valve train very reliable at a high RPM use. So these are a necessity when you're running our Stage 2 package.
So now we're looking at where all the power ends up going. So obviously this is we're looking at the single exhaust.
Right, right. This is our rear exhaust kit. Typically, Kevin, the exhaust exits inside the pump cavity.
Right.
So the factory exhaust exits inside the pump cavity, and it gets everything all dirty and black around your jet pump.
Sure.
So our rear exhaust outlet comes right out the transom. It sounds better, has a nice deep throaty sound, and obviously we've eliminated the sound suppression system, and it looks fantastic and aggressive on the back of the ski.
Very cool. Now what else can we look at back here?
Well, while we're back here, first let's talk about the jet pump. We've replaced the factory impeller with a Solus 1318 stainless steel impeller, and that's perfectly matched to the engine package. It's going to increase RPMs, give you better acceleration, better mid-range, and obviously better top speed.
I think that's a key factor is when people go to select a new impeller, they need to have that balanced out with what kind of tune they're running.
Exactly.
Now, can someone call RIVA, call one of your team members, and kind of have them explain or give them options for that?
Absolutely, that's what we do. We'll make our recommendations based on what their performance goals are for different impellers and different tuning. It depends on their altitude and what their goals are.
Yeah.
But for this particular package, the 1318 is perfect in most.
And it's matched for that tune.
For that engine package, exactly.
Very cool.
So that's the pump impeller. And then as far as handling components, we have the RIVA ride plate and the RIVA intake grate, which we're going to look at in more detail in just a moment. I have them out of the boat
very cool. Yeah,
on a table. And then obviously the RIVA sponsons.
Right.
Pro Series sponsons.
So I think really key to all these handling components are the new Pro Series sponsons.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of technology that's involved in the designing of these, and there's some really neat tricks that you guys have put into the backing plate and into the actual blade. So kind of educate me a little bit more on the Pro Series sponsons.
Sure, let's start with the stock sponson.
Okay.
This is the stock sponson. It's normally mounted in this location. A sponson is basically a fin that is attached to the outside, or a stabilizer that is attached to the outside of your hull to help your watercraft track in a corner. And the factory sponson is just very flat in the front and not much to it. There's no adjustment. No. It bolts on there, and that's why we like to take it off. And
put it on the shelf.
And put it on the shelf and replace it with our Pro Series sponson.
Right.
We've worked with our race team and our engineers to really make a fantastic design sponson. The backing plate and fin are two separate pieces, so the fin is actually adjustable up and down.
Okay.
It has 3 different mounting locations up and down, so you could drop them down for a more aggressive handling situation, or bring them up, and that makes a big difference to have that adjustment in there. So the machine turns a lot tighter, and it's a lot more precision feel.
When I was first introduced to the Pro Series sponsons, especially for the Yamaha applications, one of the things that really impressed me was some of the machining techniques that went into the backing plate, in that I actually saw its radius and naturally flows into the plate.
That's right.
So that is the plate, flows into the blade, and that really gives it a natural curve and almost like an inverted straight.
Yeah, there's a lot of machining that goes into these sponsons. They're all made in the United States in our factory out of some really, really good materials. All the aluminum is anodized to prevent corrosion, all stainless steel hardware, and even the backing plates are hogged out to remove extra material to lighten them up.
Right.
A lot of work goes to these sponsons, and it's a really solid piece.
Right. And effectively what you're doing is really just dramatically increasing the handling, the drivability, and more importantly, the straight line tracking in rough water.
Right. Straight line tracking is improved, turning ability is improved, and they look really tricky.
Well, they look really cool too.
They look beautiful.
So we've actually got a set of the intake grate and the ride plate, both the factory ones and the new RIVA ones. We're going to take a closer look at them.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to compare the RIVA racing handling components to the stock handling components that come on the ski. Starting with the intake grate. This is the stock intake grate that comes on the 2021 GP1800R. Notice these thick bars are blocking the intake stream of the water. This is where the water is coming into your jet pump. So, and it's a pretty small ramp which channels the water up into your pump inlet. We are replacing this intake grate. We're removing it and replacing it with the RIVA Racing intake grate. Now this intake grate is made out of stainless steel. It's a little heavier than the stock one, but it is bulletproof. And we had to make it out of stainless steel because we are removing those big, thick bars that block all the water coming into your pump. And we put these two narrow bars on there. We wanted to go to a superior material, stainless steel, so we don't block the water coming into your jet pump. Also notice the inlet ramp is redesigned and the back chip is pushed back so more water can enter your jet pump. This dramatically reduces cavitation and increases hookup of your jet pump area. So it bolts right in and places the stock intake grate. And in the back of the intake grate, we use the RIVA pump seal kit, which are these location-specific blocks that get siliconed in place, and they fit right in there, and they fill up this void. The stock intake grate has that void also, and air getting trapped in there and passing through creates a lot of cavitation. So this pump seal kit seals this area up very nicely. So the pump seal kit is sold separately from the intake grate, and we offer pump seal kits for most RIVA Racing intake grates. Moving on to the ride plate. This is your stock ride plate that comes on the 2021 GP1800, and it's made out of aluminum. The RIVA plate is aluminum also, and the main difference you'll notice is a dramatically different angle in the center, which changes the planing angle of the Watercraft, gets the bow up a little bit more, and then these strakes are much deeper. Center strake and these side chines really improve the handling of the Watercraft, and when it bites into a corner, you're going to turn a lot sharper. So you're going to see a little bit more top speed due to the different angle of the planing surface, and also superior cornering due to the chines in the center strake on this RIVA ride plate. It's made out of aluminum, cast aluminum, and it's powder coated to prevent corrosion. Good looking part.
So basically what you're looking at today is everything an owner of a GP1800R, SVHO, or even an HO can do through RIVA Racing to get the most traction, the best handling, the best cornering, the best acceleration, basically the best overall performance possible from their Yamaha wave runner.
That's correct. We have the full package.
That's awesome. So obviously this one's heading off to God knows where, but anyone who's got one of these at home can basically just go to rivaracing.com.
That's right, Kevin. You go to rivaracing.com, and on our homepage, you can search for your parts and kits by your year, make, and model. For instance, if you owned a 2021 GP1800R, you can click 2021 Yamaha GP1800R, and all the kits and parts that are on this ski will come up, and it'll serve it up to you. And if you have any questions, you call us on our 800 number, and we have 8 performance experts on the phone that will help walk you through, and so you can achieve your performance goals.
Yeah, I mean, not every guy needs to be the fastest dude on the water. Not everyone is Brian Baldwin. But for the guy who wants to be the fastest dude on his lake or just wants to beat his buddy, he can call your tech line, and you got certified technicians who know what they're talking about, who will be able to walk that individual through, well, what are your goals? Where do you live? Are you up in Denver, Colorado, or are you down in the Everglades?
Whatever it is,
okay,
we will recommend the parts you need to make your performance goals come true.
Well, that's awesome. Dave, thank you so much for your time and walking us through this unit. Guys, I'm Kevin Shaw, and you've been watching the Watercraft Journal. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with your friends. It's definitely going to help us grow. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, definitely hit that subscribe button right there below, underneath this screen right here, all right? We publish new videos every day, Sunday through Friday, here on YouTube. Equally, if you want more great PWC content, go to watercraftjournal.com, where new articles are published every single day, Monday through Friday, entirely subscription free to you.